Plan your escape. Number 10. Curtis, Nebraska. Located in southern Nebraska, Curtis has a population of about 1,000 people, and it's home to the Nebraska College of Technical Architecture. It's a mouthful. If you're going to move here and you don't have a house already, they'll give you the land to build one on. The only real requirements are you got to build within a certain time and it's got to be a single family home. Not bad, especially if you want to go to school to be a technical architect, I guess, huh? Now, before you say it, stop typing. I am sure you have some extra hoops you have to go through to get your property. You don't just show up at some office and say, hey, I want my land, give me an address, and off you go. Number 9. Marnie, Iowa. Located in southwestern Iowa, about an hour east of Omaha, Nebraska, you'll find the tiny town of Marnie and its population of 120. If you're looking to slow life down a bunch, this is the place for you. The local town council gives away free lots for you to build your dream home on. Now, if you have one of these jobs that lets you work from home, it's perfect, because there's really not a lot of jobs around there. Actually, it's very far away from any jobs, I guess. But if you can work from home, you'll be able to work in peace, because about 75% of the population is in their 60s. Not like you have to chase any of them off your lawn or anything like that, and bingo rarely gets crazy enough to involve the police. Number 8. New Haven, Connecticut. The coastal city of New Haven, Connecticut is probably most famous for being the home of Yale University, Ivy League school, in case you don't know. To encourage people to buy homes here, the New Haven Initiative will lend you up to $10,000 interest-free to use as a down payment. What makes this one cool is it's not out in the sticks. You're not like out in the middle of the Iowa outback. New Haven is a real city that isn't plagued with crime, drugs, and bad pizza like Philly. It also offers free tuition to any in-state college kid who graduates from a public school there. So that's a plus. Number 7. Kansas. Okay, now this is the first one that covers almost an entire state. If you're an American citizen or a dual citizen and you want some help paying off your student loans, think about Kansas. You know, that place that had the twister that took Dorothy's house to Oz and subsequently crushed an old woman? Yeah, that place. The state has identified 77 counties as rural opportunity zones, where they will pay off $15,000 of your student loans and give you a state income tax waiver for up to 5 years if you move there. These counties are spread out throughout the state. Take a look at them. Kansas is a little dull and a little boring and it's a little flat, but hey, 15 grand worth the student loans paid off, that might be worth moving to Kansas. Number 6. Alaska. Alaska has a variety of assistance programs to encourage people to buy property there. Now, for most people, Alaska is a bit out of the way. Sure, it's not connected to the rest of the U.S. mainland like Hawaii and, say, the territories, but it's not like you're moving to Mars. When I hear people talk about Alaska, that's how they make it sound, like it's that far away. It's really not. It's a quick plane trip away. Not a big deal. The state also pays an annual dividend to its permanent residents so they can share in the revenue coming from Alaskan oil and mineral resources from some deal that was set up way back when. Number 5. Detroit, Michigan. Detroit has an incentive program called Live Midtown. It's to encourage people to live in one of the more forgotten cities in the world right now. If you buy property in one of the selected neighborhoods, you can get a forgivable loan of up to $20,000. If you haven't seen Detroit in the last decade or so, you're probably thinking $20,000, that's insane, it's not real. No, it's real. For some of you that have seen Detroit, think $20,000 is going to pay for the whole house. And what's funny is, it can. I'm not kidding. Take a look at these. If you rent, you can also get $2,500 for the first year to cover some of your rent, and then the second year they'll give you $1,000 to cover rent throughout the year. It's a pretty good deal, but you got to live in Detroit. Number 4. New Richland, Minnesota. New Richland is a farming town in southern Minnesota with a population of about 1,200 people. As far as other rural and farming towns that offer similar deals, this town is huge by comparison. If you build in the community's Homestake subdivision, you can get the land for free. It's got a golf course, hiking trails. You can live a serious life of leisure if you want. And to be honest, I found it hard to come up with legitimate reasons not to live in Minnesota when I did my Minnesota videos. I mean, past running the risk of having your nuts freeze to your inner thigh during the winter, I mean, other than that, the place is pretty nice. Number 3. Baltimore, Maryland. To get rid of some of the eyesores in the historic parts of Baltimore, the city will actually pay you $10,000 to buy a vacant lot and develop it. The city also offers other incentives such as loans for home upgrades and rehab of historic properties. If you've ever been to certain areas or have seen pictures of certain areas of Baltimore, you can see why they have to do this. The good news is they don't force you to be a Ravens fan, so it's kind of a win-win. Number 2. Harmony, Minnesota. Besides sounding like a place you could find love or a massage, Harmony, Minnesota is a great town. They use the slogan, a nice place to visit, an even better place to live, which I've seen the slogan before in other places, but I mean, whatever. So besides not being very original, Harmony is a great place to live. This one kind of throws me off. It's a nice place to live, and they still give incentives. In fact, if a home you build has an estimated market value of over $250,000, you get a cash rebate of $12,000. They put the price there so nobody comes in, parks a trailer on a lot, and asks for their $12K. There's no age restrictions, income level, or residency restrictions, so you can apply whenever. They're waiting for you. And number 1, the state of Washington. Washington is not just Seattle, Starbucks, and the Puget Sound. It's a good-sized state with a bunch of open land. Many parts of that open land don't have great access to healthcare. If you're paying down student loans in certain healthcare-related fields and are willing to dig in for 3 years in Washington State, the Washington State Loan Repayment Program is offering up to $75,000 in loan reimbursement. There are a few stipulations, of course. For starters, you can't take too many sick days or work too few hours. Partaking of the legalized weed is a no-no. Trying to get maternity leave while being a single man that didn't get anyone pregnant, that's another one you can't do. You know, the basic shenanigans healthcare professionals shouldn't be doing. Alright, so that's my